All right. Welcome back, everyone. We're diving deep today into how to, seriously level up your relationships.
Yeah, always a good topic.
Always. And get this. We're going to use some insights from Adlerian psychology, Alfred Adler.
Oh, yeah. Super influential, but sometimes a little bit overlooked.
Exactly. And to guide us, we've got this awesome blog post by Turi Nakashima.
Oh, right. Yeah. He runs like a whole self-affirmation academy, doesn't he?
He does, yeah. And the thing that really grabbed me going into this was he talks about this, well, he calls it a magic phrase.
Intriguing. I'm curious.
Me too. It's supposed to totally transform how you deal with disagreements. Those moments where you just want to,
Yeah.
but instead you build stronger connections.
Okay, I'm definitely on board with that. Sounds way better than ARC.
Right. So where do we even start with this magic phrase stuff?
Well, Nakashima kicks things off with a quote from Adler himself, and it's a good one.
Hit me with.
Okay, so Adler says, "Recognize and accept your own imperfections. Recognize and forgive the imperfections of others."
Okay. Yeah, I'm seeing the connection to relationships there. But honestly, that accept your flaws thing, that's,
Well, it's tough, right? You're telling me it's like way easier said than done, especially when you're in the middle of some disagreement, emotions running high.
oh, yeah.
And someone's saying something, you're just like, ah!
Totally. So how do we actually put this into practice,
Yeah.
when we feel like someone's got it completely wrong?
Well, that's where Adlerian psychology gets really interesting, I think, because it looks at where that judgment comes from,
Yeah.
that harsh inner critic we all have.
Right.
It's often rooted in our own insecurity stuff we haven't dealt with ourselves. So we
Yeah.
end up projecting that onto other people.
Whoa.
Makes sense, right? The more we can accept ourselves, warts and all, the less we'll need to criticize and judge everybody else.
Okay, that's a big one for me. Honestly, I can see how my own need to be right has caused some problems in my relationships.
It's a super common thing. We all do it to some extent. But that's where Adlerian psychology comes in with some helpful tools. Instead of focusing on what's wrong with someone's idea,
Yeah.
try shifting your perspective. Ask yourself, what's interesting about their approach? Or, what can I learn from this?
Oh, okay, I like that.
Yeah, it helps you go from defensive mode to being more open and receptive.
So wait, are we saying you should just agree with everything, even if you totally disagree?
That's a great question because that wouldn't be very authentic, would it?
Right.
And that's where Nakashima's magic phrase comes in.
Okay, lay it on me.
He says, when you hit that point of disagreement, instead of arguing, you just say, that's a good approach too.
Wait, really? I gotta say, I was skeptical when I first read that. I thought, isn't that going to lead to more misunderstandings?
I get it. But think about what usually happens in an argument, right? Both sides dig in, try to prove they're right,
Oh, for sure.
and everyone just gets defensive, communication shuts down. But when you say, that's a good approach too, you're doing something totally different.
What? Like what?
You're saying, I see your point, I hear you, let's talk about this. You're instantly disarming the whole situation, and it opens the door to a much more productive conversation.
Okay, yeah, I can see how that would change the whole vibe. Instead of this battle, it becomes more collaborative.
Exactly. And that shift in energy makes all the difference. When you acknowledge the other person's perspective, you're validating how they feel. And that builds mutual respect, even if you ultimately disagree on the actual issue.
So it's not about giving up your own opinion, it's about...
Creating space for both viewpoints.
And wouldn't that also help both people feel better about themselves?
Right.
More confident?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's super empowering to feel heard and acknowledged. Makes you feel valued,
Yeah, definitely. And it's not just for romantic relationships either, right?
Oh, not at all. This applies to everything. Work, friendships, family, anytime you're dealing with other humans.
True. So if we were to sum up all this amazing Adlerian wisdom, what's the main takeaway for our listeners?
Well, I'd say it's this. Strong relationships, they're built on a foundation of acceptance and understanding. When we can let go of that need to be right all the time and instead embrace those imperfections in ourselves and in others, that's when we open ourselves up to connections that are way deeper and more meaningful.
I love that. And I love that magic phrase. That's a good approach too. Such a simple thing, but so powerful.
It really is. So as you go about your day, I want to challenge you to think about situations where you could use this phrase. What shifts might you notice in how those interactions go? What new possibilities could open up?
Good stuff. All right, everyone. Thanks for diving deep with us. We'll catch you next time.
See you then.